Now, Alex, I'm very curious. In the past, in our culture, there's Nưng KHIωρίthe arts was like intrinsic of education in the past. But now it appears like people are afraid of the arts. People don't know much about it. People don't prioritize it, right? Why do you think that's the case, and how can we fix it?
Yeah, good question. I think one of the reasons why people aren't into the arts is I feel like, if we're talking about socio or economically, sometimes you just have to work to make money so that you can have the bare necessities. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why art is kind of left off the table, is because sometimes to be able to go through the journey of learning the arts, it takes some time. And sometimes you don't have that time to make money, right? And so I think that's probably one of the reasons why art is kind of just left off, like forgotten. Our community, the arts, I think the past 7 years, it is growing, which is amazing to see. And I think also it's grown because economically, Vietnam is doing better. So that's wonderful to be a part of. I know that there's a lot of people before me coming back to Vietnam, or people living here that has helped kind of like build the art. I just want to be a part of that and help them push it into the light, so that people can see that art is not just you have to learn arts to become một người chuyên nghiệp and then to like make money. The art is not about making money. And so that's my message. The reason why I developed the academy, or part of the academy and the dance company. I want people to understand that art is, it helps you build you and yourself, or it helps you build your child can develop in a well-rounded way.
Question for you. Now, when we think about the arts and maybe the art form of dance, right? A lot of people feel like, oh, if they don't see talent in the person, then they're not going to invest in the arts for that kid, or that young person.
What is it called?
Nưng KHIếu.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've been asked a lot by parents, let's say when you do work with them, right? Yeah. What's your take on this? Personally, I think that's a bit of a, that's not the best way to think about it, is it?
Right, yes. I think as a father and as an educator, I think if I can give an advice to parents is, give the child an opportunity, whether they show it or not, right? Because the more you offer them opportunities to explore different art forms, and specifically dance, then that's the only way we can see if they have it or not. We can't expect that when you turn on YouTube and music and then that they're going to dance right away. Sometimes you have to facilitate it. Sometimes you have to kind of like plant the seed, right? If you feel like dance is something that it can be of value to the growth of your child, then yeah, you got to slowly start building it and plant that seed. You can't just expect, oh, you show me that you have some potential, then I'm going to then put you into classes. I think, because you'll never know. And as parents, you kind of have to lead the way, you have to guide. And so for me, I would kind of offer them a chance to try it, do it. Let them like see how, take some time and let us see if it does grow in the person. Then you can feel if they have Nưng KHIếu or not. Yeah, because not everyone comes out like, Kobe Bryant didn't come out as a child and then as a baby and he's making baskets, right? It took time to grow. Michael Phelps, he didn't. At 2, he wasn't like a swimmer yet. The parents gave him that platform. They tried it. He grew and loved it. So I think the same concept is here, is that you have to kind of facilitate it. You give them that chance, and then you see if the Nưng KHIếu comes or not. So hopefully parents can understand that anything good takes time. Don't eliminate that chance for your child just because they say like they're that quote like they're dancing with 2 left feet. Like, give them the chance.
That's wonderful. And I see you being an educator, an artist, a businessman. And all these 3 elements seem to be in conflict with each other. Like an artist is kind of like formless, as you said. An educator, needs some kind of structure.
Yes.
And then a businessman, is
numbers,
yeah. Right. So can you make sense of this for me, please?
Yes. Thank you for your question. Yeah. So I became a therapist so that I don't have to deal with numbers. Right. The only numbers I have to really worry about is like like angles of the joints. And then as an artist, you don't have to worry about numbers besides 5, 6, 7, 8, when you count, your beats. How this all I think I've been lucky. I've had the opportunity to even enter entrepreneurship. So in school, I was heading towards the medical field to get my degrees to really make my parents happy. But I also knew that having the medical field I can help people through their health, and the arts was to help people through the arts. And so that was like basically the two passions that were going hand in hand. Coming back to Vietnam, I had the opportunity to develop a business, and I have to say a lot of it like that I learned is from Thầy Thanh. He was here previously, and his background, his educational background, he showed me the ropes, and then like the businessman is very you can't be an artist and think freely. Businessman, you gotta think numbers. You gotta think how you develop the business. What are your financial projections? I mean, you know all that. How do you develop your staff? How do you develop your teachers? What are your KPIs? What are your marketing plans? So, I think for me, all three elements are very different. Very different. I think what I just keep true to myself is just keep growing, and just stay positive, and because everywhere there's issues. Like even if you don't hit like your numbers, your financial projections, hey, okay, let's figure out a solution. And if you can just look at things like that and from a positive standpoint, then you succeed.
Wonderful.